Action! Hello there, and welcome to the first episode of Answer It podcast. And we are support nerds. Gonna talk about customer support. What a coincidence! A good one, a bad one, the evolution of support, and all the trends of support. Oh man, how many times did I say already this word support? Anyway,
Not as many as we're going to say later.
and that's the purpose. That's the purpose. So basically, our job is to take care of your customers, even if you don't have time for that. Anyway, let's get started. My name is Irina, and I'm a head of business development at Answer. And my role is to find new clients, to build a relationship with the current one, with the new ones, and find opportunities for the business and spread word of mouth about us. So, long story short, I'm a social connector and let's call it a bridge between customers and my team. Girls, how about you?
Hi again. I'm Natalie. I'm the head of the customer support department at Answery, and my job is to ensure that every process and every project runs smoothly. I also strongly believe that everything should be based on some logic. So it's my motto at job and in my personal life too.
Okay, I'm Maria. I am the head of customer support, quality assurance, and learning and development, which is the longest title at Answery. I am looking after the quality of support work and after agent training and stuff like that. And I also am very fond of asking tricky questions.
We know that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of tricky questions actually. But anyway, I want to start with how long have you been doing customer support? Let's talk about this.
I've been working at Answery for over 10 years already, I think, yes. And I started as a support agent and I became a project manager. So I guess I'm the oldest employee here in our group. So I'll be able to answer all your tricky questions. I believe it.
Okay, let me check my list. I have a huge list of questions. But anyway.
Okay, I'm somewhere in the middle. I've been with Answery for 6 years. I worked in support before, but with Answery only for 6 years. But I still, in the perspective of working experience, we're kind of similar with Natalie. Well, unlike yourself.
Man, you had experience. And I wanted to say that I've joined the team of Answery quite recently. Well, not that recently, but like a little bit less than a year. And I'm still learning a lot. And I have a lot of questions, as I already mentioned. And the first one, I want to ask you, how does the work you've done, how does it reflects on your like personal life?
Personal life. I guess we all have a little bit of professional deformation. Again, when I get in contact with any customer service, I can't help myself, and I start like scoring them and awarding them points and detracting points. And like the only reason why I'm not writing them like long feedbacks is because it's kind of weird, probably, for me to do that.
Quite so. I do send feedback, a lot of feedback, and I think that I'm not a shy girl when it comes to criticizing or testing other support teams. And every time I use an application, I want to go immediately to the support section to write a letter to them, to write a request, and check their reaction to my frustration, of course, but also check their tools, probably their organization ways, their workflows, their tiers, if they have any, etc.
By the way, a spontaneous question. When you talk to some support teams just for your personal life, so after the conversation, do you mark any like stars or do you provide any feedbacks? Was it good? Was it like bad, helpful?
Of course I do, yeah, of course.
Sure.
So I think you're working all the time.
Pretty much.
24/7. 24/7. And actually, I started with this question because, as I already mentioned, I'm the youngest employee here. not speaking by the age, speaking of the experience. But anyway, when I started to work at this field, I started to pay attention to the customer support a lot, just like in my regular basic life, all the applications, delivery, taxi, and etc., etc. And I was like, man, it's everywhere. But also, like one of the noticed I had, and actually it came from a client. This year I traveled to a conference they called. Oh my God, I forgot how this is called. It's called a Gamescom. Sorry, that's the first episode. So it's called a Gamescom. It's a huge exhibition of for video games industry that is happening in Cologne, Germany, like every year. And one of our like biggest clients, like with the whole team, was at the event. And I wanted to talk to them, like, hey, how's it going? If everything okay, like, do you satisfy with the job we've done? So I started to talk with some people from the company, and then they started to say things that I was like, what? I was like, hey, I'm from Ansbury, and we've been working with you guys. And I was like, who? Ansbury? Never heard. I was like, oh my God, I started to be super, super nervous. And then after a few minutes of the conversation, they said to me that, oh, yes, you've been doing the support for us. But you know what? As far as we didn't get any news from this field, probably it works good.
Yeah,
And we had
yes, yeah, that it is actually interesting because sometimes even people in the field, like not in the support field, but say in development field, they are aware of support, kinda, but as long as it's all good, they are not maybe paying that much attention to it. It's like, like customer support is like our internal organs. We can say that. For
right.
example, I know I've got a liver somewhere in my body, but until it starts causing some pain, I kind of don't know where it is or what it is doing or something like that. So this is the same with customer support. So if it's good, it's kind of somewhere there.
Yeah, you're right. And yeah, I think I'm lucky. I don't know where my liver is. So yeah, actually, that's one of the reasons why we decided to discuss support at all, because it's usually hidden, and we want to showcase its internal workflows because, as I said, they are usually hidden, especially when they are good. And today, good support actually is taken for granted. And when a company decides to create support for their product, they are sure that it will be good as default, as they don't even consider any other options as a result.
Right. So it's basically it's the opposite of marketing, right? You don't see it, you don't feel it until it works bad. It works bad. Anyway, so I guess the desired result hasn't changed much through the years, and it should be good support.
Interestingly, interestingly, it has changed because if we are going way back, like at the very beginning when we started working like 10 years ago, stuff like that, we actually had to persuade people that they actually do need support at all, that it is actually essential for the success of the project. Then there was another step, like everybody believed that, okay, yes, we do need support, of course. Then we had to persuade them that they needed quality support. That it is not just, some guys that are typing some answers to some questions, that it is actually a part of their business, a part of customer journey, that it affects the profit, that it is a retention tool, all that. So we had to gradually bring it to the consciousness of clients that it should be good, it will be for the advantage of your business. And yeah, now good support is a given. Absolutely. So people all know that, yes, it is a retention tool, that it increases LTV and stuff like that. So everyone is expecting it to be, well, perfect.
Right. So the common line is that demands grow constantly.
Yes, of course, the demands of the users and the demands of the developers too. And actually, I've seen this attitude towards the support change over the years. For example, first we had to our first clients, they just needed fast support, and that's all. And our advantage was that we also had quality support, of course. And then the quality became a demand too. But fortunately for us, we were ahead still with our tools, which we created for our agents. And these tools allowed them to spend less time for composing the request, the answer, for searching for the information about the user, for example. So they had more free time, and we used this free time to work with the more complex issues, and that was our advantage at that time. But as you can guess, today working with complex issues is a primary demand too.
So, right. How do you like we couldn't avoid this topic today. How do you consider AI? Does it feel the same vector we're going to, like in terms of like training support? How do you consider it?
Yeah, it is in trend because firstly we need to understand that the users are used to a certain level of support, and we get used to good things very quickly, and after COVID they say that the users expectation, they skyrocketed, so they expected very 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 fast replies. They expect a lot of personalization, all that stuff that is a given. And companies are also trying to outdo each other. So they're trying to compete on every nuance of their business, every part of their business. So their project, yes, like the quality of their project, and then goes all the, like, say, minor stuff, that includes customer support as well. So as a competitive advantage. So yeah, and it is one part of it.
That's true. But it still has to be trained and learned a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
talking about AI helpers.
yeah, of course. And if we are talking about the advantages and the competitive things, of course, AI tools help greatly here because they allow us to save time first. And I think that in general, the ultimate goal of AI tools is to make everything easier. And it's another common vector today to make everything easier for the users, for the agents, for their project managers. For example, we want our agents to spend less time composing a reply. We don't want them to switch between different systems when working with a request. And the users, they just want to make less effort when creating a reply and getting a good result.
Yeah, because in the past, when you like tapped the support button, it would send you to some hideously long form where you had to input all this information manually by hand, like the number of your server, your account ID, and stuff and stuff and stuff. And actually, when you see this form, the overwhelming desire is to basically switch it off and never come to support. And now we've got all these tools, again, very complex help desks, which include AI instruments like co-pilots and AI agents, and they all help to collect data very, very quickly. And we don't need to ask users for lots of information. So, but as you said, yeah, it is not as simple as.
Another kind of a spontaneous thought that comes to my mind, like a few years ago, when you go to the website, let's say you are buying flight tickets to somewhere or something else, and something happened with your profile and you want to talk to support. And first, because I've been traveling a lot, so that's why I've been facing so many chatbots at the airlines, different airlines. And it happens like a lot when you start talking to the AI agent, assistant, whatever, doesn't matter how do you call it. And I had a feeling like, but man, I want to talk to the person. But then slightly the situation has been changed a little bit. And actually, I wonder, how do you feel about this? Because like before, I was like, no, definitely I want to talk to the person. And then it's getting better. I mean, not better, but different. And I wonder, how do you feel about this? That was not scripted.
I couldn't say that the situation changed. I still think that the users, for example, the users we work with, they prefer talking to a real person, not to a bot, definitely. And I think it's a common situation for all the gamers, for the users of the games, and they want to get a reply fast, of course, but they want to talk to a real person to get a real, I don't know how to say,
like a human touch, no?
Yeah,
Real
yes,
connection.
a human connection, yeah, to get a really beautiful experience afterward. They want to be not only satisfied with the result, but with the conversation too.
Mm-hmm.
It does depend, I believe, on the issue very much, because if we are talking about some simpler issues that where they can be solved without human interference,
Mm-hmm.
and that are not kind of threatening to the user,
Mm-hmm.
They are
It
all
could
right.
be even better. Like, oh, I don't want to bother anyone, so please figure out the stuff with my flight
It is
or
faster,
delivery.
it is simpler, fine. But for example, if we are dealing, say, with payment issue, that people still prefer going to a human, not because an AI can't solve it, but because the user feels that they can't press AI in case something goes wrong, and they can press a human. Like
Right.
it is. They're more sure that the human can do something for them than the AI who has no soul and basically doesn't need money and then doesn't understand it. So that is the point.
I think I also believe that it makes difference like in different industries. For example, if I'm buying a sofa on IKEA, it's one thing. But if I'm playing a game and I have a quite complicated situation, so maybe I really want to talk to a human person.
If you're angry, especially if you're angry, because again, you feel
or if there are some troubles with my money.
Yeah,
That's another big topic.
If you are frustrated, you wish to spill this frustration onto someone, again, with the feelings, to share. And again, you understand you can't share with an AI, okay? It can be empathetic and personalized and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel like the humans do. So you if I'm angry, I also want to shout at a human. Well, I don't personally, but people do.
Right.
Yes, that is the case.
All right. So, and the conclusion, actually, while we were talking and we were just, I know that we were talking like very quickly, touching some, slightly touching some customer support, customer support angles, let's call it like this. And I would love to uncover it more and more, but we're not gonna do that tonight. We're gonna do that later. And actually, what we want to do is we would love to start this podcast, and we are inviting other customer support nerds, not nerds, users, and people who are kind of facing the needs to work with customers to this actually a long conversation which we gonna do through the podcasts and some maybe other kind of content, right? Am I right, girls?
Yeah, sure.
Let's bring this hidden topic to the table.
We would be I think we would be better off not even just with only with support nerds, but maybe for people from AI or this AI area of it. So, like neighboring areas and stuff like that.
Right.
So
So yeah,
to make it even
people
more.
from the support side, from the product side, from the marketing side, the production side, we are looking for you. We're looking for you. Let's have a conversation. And that's a wrap. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
And by the way, don't forget to like and support this video because we were stressing a little bit, but we've done it and we want to do that more.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.